Can peasants and serfs own land in medieval Europe? Breaking news for history enthusiasts. A question that has captured the curiosity of many. Can peasants and serfs actually own land in medieval Europe? As we look back at this fascinating period, understanding land ownership is essential. Let's break down the facts surrounding this topic that many viewers are eager to know. In medieval Europe, the feudal system dominated society. This system created a hierarchy where land was primarily owned by nobles and the church. Peasants and serfs worked the land but did not own it outright. Serfs, in particular, were bound to their lord's estate. They could not leave or sell the land they worked on. Instead, they had customary rights to use specific plots for their survival. These rights were limited and often came with obligations, such as paying rent or performing labor for their lords. Serfs held land only by tenure, which meant they had the right to use it but not to own it in the modern sense. Their existence was tightly controlled by the lords, who dictated the terms of their labor and living conditions. Free peasants, those not tied to a lord, sometimes had more rights. They could own small plots of land, but this was not common. In certain regions, especially during the later Middle Ages, peasants could acquire land through purchase, inheritance, or grants. However, full ownership remained rare and often unstable. There were exceptions to this general rule. In some towns governed by Magdeburg Law, inhabitants, including peasants, enjoyed more autonomy and property rights. Additionally, groups like the Cossacks in Eastern Europe created communities with different social structures, allowing them more control over land. Overall, land ownership in medieval Europe was largely reserved for the nobility and religious institutions. Peasants and serfs primarily had use rights rather than ownership rights over the land they worked. This historical context helps us understand the social dynamics of the time and the challenges faced by those who labored on the land.